Frida Kahlo's life was a continuous testament to resilience, pain, and the beauty of raw, unfiltered self-expression. Born in 1907 in Coyoacán, Mexico, Kahlo became one of the most iconic artists of the 20th century. Her art was not just a reflection of her inner world. It was her way of communicating her profound experiences of pain, love, and identity. Frida often spoke of the connection between art and identity, emphasizing how deeply intertwined they were. For her, painting wasn't a mere hobby. It was a necessity, a tool for survival in a world that didn't always understand her. From an early age, Frida faced immense struggles. At 6, she contracted polio, which left her with a lifelong limp. But the true hardship came at 18, when she was involved in a horrific bus accident that nearly cost her life. Frida's spine, pelvis, and ribs were fractured, and she was forced to endure multiple surgeries and lengthy recoveries. During this time of physical agony, she began to paint, often using a mirror to create self-portraits. These portraits would become her signature, each one a depiction not just of her face, but of the pain, struggles, and determination that defined her. Her early self-portraits, such as The Broken Column, depict her body in ways that are at once stark and beautiful. The shattered spine and the nails embedded in her skin speak not just to her physical wounds, but also to the emotional and psychological toll she experienced. Kahlo's ability to transform personal pain into art was extraordinary. She didn't shy away from showing the messiness and vulnerability of her experiences, embracing imperfection rather than seeking perfection. This raw honesty was what made her work so unique and resonant. It wasn't sanitized or idealized, but rather a direct confrontation with the most difficult aspects of her life. Frida's art didn't just deal with her own pain. It was a vivid exploration of her identity, both as a woman and as a Mexican. In a time when women were expected to fit neatly into predefined roles, Frida defied those expectations with her unapologetic portrayal of herself. She wore traditional Mexican attire and often used imagery from Mexican folklore and history in her work, blending these elements with surreal and symbolic depictions of her emotional landscape. Her art became a space where she could celebrate her indigenous roots and challenge the norms that sought to limit her. Frida used her paintings to make visible the complexities of gender, race, and class, issues that were often silenced in the society she lived in. Kahlo's relationship with Diego Rivera, another towering figure in the world of art, was a key element in her life and work. Their marriage was filled with love, betrayal, and turbulence, yet it also fueled Frida's creativity. Diego's infidelity and their time apart gave Frida the space to deepen her artistic voice. Despite their differences, Diego's influence on her work was undeniable, particularly in her earlier pieces. But as their marriage became more strained, Frida began to forge her own artistic identity, using her pain and struggles as the foundation for a new and distinct creative vision. Frida was deeply influenced by her leftist political beliefs. Her art became a form of protest, a reflection of her commitment to social justice, indigenous rights, and the struggle against oppression. She used her platform to advocate for the marginalized and the dispossessed, focusing much of her work on the issues that were important to her. She believed that artists had a responsibility to use their craft to challenge the status quo, and she often incorporated political imagery into her paintings. Frida's work was not only personal, but also a powerful commentary on the world around her, giving a voice to those who had been silenced by society. Frida's identity as a woman was a central theme in her art and her life. She rejected the conventional notions of femininity that were prevalent in her time. Through her self-portraits, Frida explored the complexities of womanhood, her body, her emotions, and her experiences. She painted herself with a unibrow, a mustache, and a body that was not idealized or smooth, but marked with scars, flaws, and strength. In doing so, she challenged the idea that women should conform to narrow standards of beauty. Her work was a celebration of her individuality, a refusal to be confined by societal expectations. Kahlo's art has continued to inspire countless individuals around the world, especially women and marginalized groups. Her unapologetic approach to her body, her identity, and her emotions gave voice to those who had been silenced. She showed the world that it was possible to be both vulnerable and strong, to embrace pain and turn it into something beautiful. Her legacy is one of empowerment and defiance, a reminder that our stories are worth telling, no matter how painful they may be. Art was not just a means of expression for Frida. It was a lifeline. Her paintings were her way of communicating with the world when words fell short. She once said, "I paint myself because I am so often alone and because I am the subject I know best." Her art was her personal language, her form of resistance against a world that often overlooked or misunderstood her. Through her paintings, Frida created a space where she could be fully herself, unashamed and unapologetic. As Frida Kahlo once said, "At the end of the day, we can endure much more than we think we can." Her art is a testament to that resilience. It is a reminder that even in the most difficult of circumstances, we can find strength and beauty. Kahlo's work challenges us to confront our own pain, to embrace our imperfections, and to find meaning in the most unexpected places. Frida Kahlo's work transcends time and place. Her impact on the world of art is immeasurable, not just because of the technical mastery she exhibited, but because of the emotional depth she brought to each piece. Her ability to infuse her paintings with personal struggle, joy, love, and heartbreak allowed her work to resonate with audiences from all walks of life. Her art continues to inspire not just artists, but individuals who see themselves in the raw emotion captured on her canvases. In one of her most famous works, the Two Fridas, Kahlo presents two versions of herself, one dressed in a traditional Mexican gown, the other in a more European-style dress. The two Fridas are connected by a single vein, a symbolic representation of the duality of her identity. The painting speaks to the complexities of belonging, of balancing two cultures, and the inner conflict that comes with that. This exploration of identity is something that many people can relate to, especially those who feel torn between multiple identities or cultures. Kahlo's art gave a voice to those who struggled with questions of self, identity, and belonging. Through the Two Fridas and other works, Frida challenged not just cultural expectations, but also societal norms surrounding the female body. She rejected the idea of an idealized, flawless form, instead embracing her own body as it was. In doing so, she became a pioneer in the movement toward body positivity, decades before the term was coined. Her paintings of herself, often with visible scars, unshaven legs, or disfigured features, were radical acts of self-love and defiance. Frida celebrated the beauty and imperfection in the very things that society often deems unworthy. Frida also spoke openly about the role of pain in her life and art. She believed that pain was a part of the human condition, something that shaped who we are and how we experience the world. Her physical suffering, resulting from the bus accident and various surgeries, was a constant companion throughout her life. But instead of allowing that pain to break her, Frida used it to fuel her creativity. Each brushstroke became a form of therapy, a way to process the emotions and experiences that might otherwise have consumed her. In her paintings, she created a world where pain was not something to hide or be ashamed of, but something to acknowledge and, in some ways, celebrate. As Frida's art evolved, so did her approach to her own identity. She began to incorporate more surreal elements into her work, creating dreamlike landscapes that blurred the lines between reality and fantasy. In pieces like The Dream and the Wounded Deer, Frida explored the intersection of fantasy, memory, and reality. These works became not just a reflection of her inner world, but a universal exploration of the mind's complexity. Through her art, She invited viewers into her dreams, her memories, and her fantasies, offering them a glimpse into her soul. Frida's artistic vision was not confined to the boundaries of traditional art. She was also a significant figure in the political landscape of her time. Kahlo was an ardent communist, deeply involved in leftist politics, and her beliefs found their way into her work. In paintings like The Marxist Portrait and The Suicide of Dorothy Hale, Kahlo made clear her support for the underprivileged and the marginalized. She believed that art had the power to not only reflect society, but also to change it. Her work became a form of resistance, a way to challenge the status quo and advocate for social change. Her work continues to be celebrated not just for its artistic value, but for its emotional honesty and courage. Kahlo's legacy is one of empowerment, particularly for women and marginalized communities. She used her art to challenge societal norms, question the status quo, and give a voice to those who had been silenced. Kahlo's unapologetic approach to her identity, her body, and her art continues to inspire new generations of artists and individuals who seek to express their truth, no matter how unconventional or difficult that may be. Frida Kahlo's life and work stand as a testament to the power of art to heal, to challenge, and to connect us all. Her self-portraits are not just depictions of her body. They are representations of her soul, her struggles, and her triumphs. In every painting, she left a piece of herself, offering us a window into her world. And through her work, she taught us that, even in the face of adversity, we can find beauty, strength, and meaning. If you've been moved by Frida Kahlo's incredible legacy and the profound impact her art has had on the world, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll continue to bring you more stories of inspirational figures who have changed the world through their art. Thank you for joining us in celebrating the life and work of one of the most remarkable artists of all time.